Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ray, that's Koji, and today, well, let's get ready for the OP-05 market. But before we look at the market watch for December, let me tell you guys about this video's giveaway. So for this video, I will be giving away one alt art Dawn for OP-04, and all you have to do to be part of this giveaway is to make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I will post the winner on Saturday, so make sure you stay subscribed so that you don't miss it. Also, before we get to the market watch, I want to shout out the members of the Wool Pack, and as a reminder, the members only giveaway for December will be the One Piece gift collection. All right, now without further ado, let's go check out and get ready for the OP-05 market. All right, it's another episode of Market Watch, and for this episode, let's go focus on some of the cards that will be relevant for OP-05 so that you guys can best be prepared for the upcoming meta. As always, we're gonna start with all Market Watch by looking at the prices of the sealed products and see how it changed for the last month. So first, we have OP-01. As you can see, the price just keeps on going up, ladies and gentlemen. It started out at 377, and then it actually peaked at 526, and then it looks like it's settling down around 480. Still, that's increase of over $120 in just 1 month, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think last episode I said that a lot of people are speculating that there won't be another reprint or more products of OP-01, and the market definitely reflects, or I guess the market price definitely reflects that. And yeah, and this is just the typical OP-01 price for blue bottom wave 1 products. The prices is actually even more than that, actually probably over double of the prices that you see here. I have seen those posted for over $900 in secondary markets such as Facebook Marketplace, and yeah, it's absolutely nuts. I didn't know, but I was that I was sitting on a gold mine because I had 30 of those boxes for my challenge, but I decided to open it because I'm a collector. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a sealed collector. So hey, I had good fun and I had cards to show for it. All right, next let's go look at the second set, OP-02 Paramount War. And yeah, same thing with OP-01. It started out at 273, or I guess not 273, 196, and then it went up all the way to 289 and leveling off at 273. So a little nice increase of $80 in just 1 month. I think it's following the exact same pattern as OP-01. Speculations that there's no more OP-02 reprints coming, and then the fact that a lot of the SRs are meta defining in OP-05, particularly with the popularity of the blue and black Sakazuki leader. So yeah, some of the Navy SRs are just ridiculous, mind-bogglingly expensive in price that I will talk about later. But yeah, I think all of those factors are part of the reason why OP-02 is, yeah, it's just so expensive. That's nuts. All right, next let's go look at OP-03. OP-03 has seen not quite of an explosive growth, but still growth nonetheless in the last month. Yeah, it started out at 114 and then it ended up at 157. So over $40 in increase in just 1 month, which is crazy. I think a lot of it's fueled by the need of yellow cards, particularly with the Karakuri secret rare. So I think that helped it propel to these prices. Next, let's go look at our current set before OP-05, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting graph. It started out with 88 and then actually dipped all the way to 82. I believe that's less than MSRP price, and then slowly climbed up, and then it levels up at just over 93 US dollars. That's about MSRP prices. I won't be surprised if these prices just keep going down, just because I feel that there's a lot of OP-04 in stock, and there's really not a lot of cards in OP-04 that is really that relevant in OP-05. None of the secret rares are. So unless there's a new leader that they will introduce in later sets that make use in some of the other staples in OP-04, I definitely foresee these prices keep going down. And then finally, we have the I feel is the best set released so far in the One Piece card game, which is the OP-05 Awakening of the New Era. And yeah, as you can see, the pre-release prices are crazy. It started out at just over $104 and it's ending at $172. Holy crap. Please do not pay these prices. Wait for official release. I think, even though I think this box is gonna be very popular, it's still not gonna be this expensive. I still think you can get it around 120 US dollars, around there. Just because I think Bandai is pretty good now at printing a lot of these products, even though you might have to wait a little bit, not the initial wave of product release. But yeah, 172 is just absolutely ridiculous, even though I feel that this set is still gonna be amazing and very popular to collectors and players alike. All right, next let's go look at each set to see some of the relevant cards in the OP-05 meta, particularly focusing on the three main bad boy decks in OP-05, which is Purple, Luffy, Enel, as well as the blue and black Sakazuki leader, as well as highlighting how the reverse bans are affecting some of the prices, particularly the red cards. How did that affect the market? Did the market rebound? How did, what's the values of those cards now? Right, obviously starting out with OP-01 with the Zoro leader. As you can see, with the reverse bannings, Zoro is back. Obviously, it's going to be strong as in prior sets, but Zoro is still going to be a very popular leader to play just because it's very easy to pilot and pretty straightforward, but still pretty good. And if you hit right, it can still beat some of these top decks in OP-05. So yeah, as you can see, it started out at 218 at the beginning of the month, and then ended up at over 289 US dollars, a nice 70 US dollars increase. Next, let's go look at Nami Schwan. So yeah, Nami is one of those cards that were banned, and people were not sure if they were going to unban this card. And yeah, as you can see, it started out at 164 this month, and then once they reversed the bannings or they announced it, yeah, her price just went back up with a vengeance and is currently sitting at over 268 US dollars. One thing that's nice about Nami is that it's playable in a lot of different decks, not just Zoro. So, Strawbeard, I think, is going to be very popular. Obviously, Zoro is going to be there, as well as Red Green Law. So yeah, that's why Nami, it's yeah, her value is just climb back up. Next, we have one of the cards that I did not think they will reverse the ban or against the restriction, but they did. So we have Radical Beam, and yeah, as you can see, it started out at less than $1 US at 89 cents, and then he shot all the way up to over $7 US, but thankfully it leveled up to just over $4 US, or just under $4 US. So yeah, just check out your bulk if you have extra Radical Beams, because maybe now's a good time to sell it. All right, so next let's go highlight some of the other, I guess, fascinating interactions that might be available. One of those is the release of the premium decks, which contains the reprint of the Zoro the Rush Zoro in OP-01. This used to be a staple and one of the most expensive SRs in the set, but obviously, as you can see, the price just keeps going down with the reprint, which is nice. That's obviously the goal of the reprints, and it looks like it worked. It started out in the month at just over $10, and right now it's just under $3 being which is good because having a lot more affordable cards is good for everyone. Let the alt arts be high for the collectors, but regular SRs should be available and affordable for everyone. Finally, in OP-01, I just want to highlight the X-Ray card. So this is one that is used in some purple Luffy decks. As you can see, the price is actually a lot higher. It's at $3.30, and it looks like it's slowly going down, and it's just now over $2. So yeah, it looks like it's going down in price, which is good because I've seen this card used in some purple Luffy builds. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So next, let's go highlight the ST-04 Animal Kingdom Pirates deck. And there's so many cards in this set that are staples, and the prices of this deck is just shot up so much. I believe that, yeah, the price for OP-0 or ST-04 is up to 75 or 84 US dollars sealed, and it started out at 65. Yeah, with the release of Purple Luffy in OP-05, I'm not surprised that it increased. What I am surprised is just that the prices just went absolutely insane, and hopefully Bandai will address it by printing more of the starter decks, because as we have seen, some of the starter decks ST-01 to ST-04, a lot of those cards in those sets are staples in a lot of decks currently, and as well as moving forward. So that's the sealed products. Next, let's look at the individual cards, starting with the big baddie herself, Queen. Yeah, this card is just a staple in every single purple deck out there. It's such a good card. It's a blocker. It allows you to cycle your cards. It's such a good card. And yeah, it started out at just over 24 US dollars, and then it went all the way up to 39, and then holding on to 32. Yeah, $32 for a Queen deck or a Queen character is crazy. I hope they reprint these cards, because regardless if it's Purple Luffy or another purple card or a purple deck, it's just a staple. And so hopefully they'll reprint this card later on, so that we will see its price go down. Next, we have the starter deck SR Kaido. So as you can see, the prices of the upcoming OP-05 didn't really affect it. It started out at just over $5. It peaked at over $8. I think that's about the release of ST10 with the red purple Luffy. I think maybe, or maybe it's during the green purple Dofi, but it's tailed off and then it leveled up to original price of $5. So it looks like its price didn't really change much in 1 month, and I know that this card is used in some red or no, purple Luffy lists. Next, we have Ulti, and then obviously page 1. These are hand in hand, same thing. Some builds of Purple Luffy has them. So as you can see, the prices started out at 47 cents, and then it slowly went up with a height of $2.34, and then leveled off at just over $1.44. So just watch out for that price. Same thing with page 1. Started out at 55 cents. And then it ended up at just over $1.21. So yeah, big influx, just because it's gonna be used by some with one of the more popular decks in OP-05 with the purple Luffy. So yeah, keep that in mind. Next, let's go look at Blast Breath. Same thing, it increased in price just because of the popularity of purple increasing with OP-04 and then OP-05. Started out with 61 cents, ended up just over $1.21, so double the price. And the last one, let's go highlight the lead performer disaster. You can see there's a huge influx of price here. This is due to the release of the new leaders in ST10, the premium deck edition. I think this one is used by Red Purple Luffy, I believe, to ramp up Dawn. So yeah, that's why you saw the increase in price. It started out at 15 cents, and you can see, yeah, if you had a lot of these cards and you sold it, you made a lot of money. Right, so that has been the purple decks, and yeah, it looks like this is gonna be one of the more sought after starter decks in relation to OP-05. So hopefully you guys have your own copy, because right now the prices for this set is insane. So next, let's go move on to OP-02, starting with Oyaji himself rising from the grave. People thought that he was done. I honestly think that Whitebeard will be a lot more successful than people think. I honestly think that he'll probably win the first major event in OP-05. So yeah, as you can see, it reflected with the unbannings, with his price. The leader started out at $78 and then yeah, doubled in price, nearly doubled in price, and ended up at $157. Next, we have the Borsalino alt art. Obviously, the admirals are staples to the black and blue Sakazuki, particularly with Borsalino as well as Kuzan. So yeah, I think it reflects in their prices, because Sakazuki is one of the major hitters in the set, and I won't be surprised if there's going to be some bannings / restrictions associated with this deck, as it has just dominated the Japanese Asian region. So yeah, we can see Borsalino. It started out at $56, just over, and then yeah, it ends up now at just over $95, a really nice $40 increase. Next, we have Kuzan. Kuzan started out at 64, and then yeah, ended up at just over 87, a nice about 20 plus US dollars increase in just 1 month. And then finally, we have the last of the or not, I guess not finally, but the next we have the Whitebeard character, and finally it's gonna be unleashed, and he's just not restricted to one anymore. So yeah, it started out at just under $30, and then it ballooned nearly 3 times the price, and now it's up to just over $85. Yeah, I think people will be running 4 of these in... Actually, I don't know. I think a lot of the more successful Whitebeard decks out there will be the Strawbeard build. So I don't know if they will want to run 4 Newgate. So we will see how the meta evolves. But you can't deny that having 4 Whitebeard is pretty strong. Next, we have Magellan. Same thing. Magellan is going to be a staple for Purple Luffy lists. And yeah, interesting for Magellan. It looks like maybe the value was already there, but yeah, it started out at $42. It peaked at just over 46 and then slowly went down, and it is actually cheaper now 1 month later, and it's currently at $38. Pretty interesting curve for a card that will be used in Purple Luffy in OP-05. Next, let's go look at the SRs, starting with Borsalino. And oh man, like the price of some of these SRs. See, I don't mind if the alt arts are expensive, as long as the SRs are affordable to everyone. And having one card, one SR to be $30 is not it. And hopefully these cards get printed out more, especially since I think it's just gonna go up, because I think Sakazuki will be one of the, you know, best decks in the format. And you know what a lot of people want to do, play the best deck. So yeah, Borsalino started out at $21 and then slowly keep going up, and with a peak of $36.50, and then slowly leveled up at just $30. Next, we have Kuzan, slow increases again. Started out at wow, under $7, and then yeah, it tripled, more than tripled the price, and now it's over $22 right now. Next, let's go look at the Whitebeard SR. It started out at just over $4, and then yeah, ooh, the spike in price, it went all the way up to 23.75, and then it leveled up to just over $18. So if you bought low and sold high, you definitely made really good profits there for people who did that. And finally, we have the last SR, Magellan. As you can see, the graph is just all over the place. I think it reflected with the price in the alt art as well. You know, it went down and it pretty much ended up kind of the same price. So it started with just over $12. It actually went down all the way to just over $10, and then yeah, it leveled up to just over $12 now. So Magellan is going to be one of those staples for Purple Luffy, so I won't be surprised if it holds this price for a while. All right, next let's go look at OP-03, and you will see a lot of the cards here that will be relevant for NL. Starting out with the category alt art. Obviously, category is still going to be a strong card for NL decks or for any yellow decks, regardless. So yeah, you can see for categories price, it actually went down a little bit. Started out what, $95, and it leveled up to 81. So that'd be interesting there. Next, we have just a regular secret rare. Compared to the alt art, it looks like it did have the dip and then it kind of rebounded well, so I think it mimicked a lot of what the alt art did. So it started out at 56. I think a lot of why the prices for the secret rare and the alt art were very high at the beginning of the month was bannings of the red cards and the popularity or the emergence of category leader. So with the unbannings and the popularity of NL, as well as Purple Luffy, Sakazuki, and then the red leaders rising from the grave, you can see that reflected on the downward spiral of the price, but rebounded as, you know, NL still going to be one of the powerhouses for the set. So yeah, category started out at $56. He went all the way up to 43 and then rebounded and is currently holding strong at just over $52. I still feel that that's such a high price for a regular secret rare, and yeah, hopefully Bandai prints out more OP-03 prices, just because category prices are still ridiculous, and yeah, hopefully it just goes down. Next, let's go look at the next alt art, which is going to be the Pudding alt art. So she's going to be a staple for NL decks. As you can see, her price started out at 51, just over 51, and ended up at just over $41. So it actually decreased of about $10 in 1 month. Next, let's go look at Marco. So Marco rose up from the grave because of with the phoenix that he is, coming or rising up from the grave from the unbannings. His price was actually started out at $25 and then went the low of just over 24 and then spiked up again at around $29. I think it's gonna hold that price for a while, but it's nice to see that the Marco blocker is back up to 4 for some of the red leaders out there. Next, let's go look at Polly. So Polly is going to be one of those leaders that will be relevant for Purple Luffy decks. As you can see, the prices reflect that. Polly started out at $22 and then now it went up about $5 and it's now just over $27. Next, let's go look at the regular SR cards and SR prices. Starting out with the Marco, let's see how the unbannings reflected the price. So it started out at $8 and then obviously the bannings of the red cards happened, and then it went all the way down to $4, and then the reverse bands was all the way up to $12, and then yeah, it rebounded and settled down at $9. Oh, I said blocker Marco. I meant this one's obviously the KO one. So yeah, it's back up to 4 for OP-05. Next, we have the regular Poly SR. Started out at $4, and then kind of went up and down and up and down, and it had a peak of just over $5, and it's settling down at about $4.73. Next, we have Gum Gum Jet Gatling. So this one's used in some purple Luffy decks or just purple decks in general. Started out at just 38 cents, and then yeah, it's a nice little, what is this, five times increase in price, and it's now just over $1.52. Next, we have Khalifa. I think Khalifa is used in some purple lists, so yeah, so might be relevant for some of you guys. So yeah, Khalifa started out at 33 cents. It's currently at just over $1. And then next we have 3000 Worlds. I think it's used in some of the blue decks, but I think it's going to be replaced by some cards in OP-05. So yeah, it started out just over $3 and then slowly decreased, and it's now just over $2.46. All right, forgot in OP-03 we have Brand New. So Brand New is one of those cards in some of the Sakazuki lists. So if you're wondering of the price of this card, so it started out at 52 cents last month, and then it's up to just double the price at about $1.07, just in case if you are looking to purchase this for your Sakazuki deck. All right, next let's go look at the ST06 starter deck 6 Absolute Justice. So this deck contains some of the, I guess, staple cards for the black and blue Sakazuki leader, particularly Great Eruption as well as Hina. Yeah, as you can see, it reflected in the price. A sealed version of the decks it started out at just over $31, and then yeah, it increased and just over $44 right now. $10 increase in just 1 month. And honestly, the primary reason for this is just two particular cards in the set, starting out with Great Eruption. So obviously Great Eruption is one of those cards that are staples for black and blue Sakazuki. So yeah, as you can see, its initial price is just over $7.50, and then yeah, it went all the way up to $12, and it's now holding up at just over $10. Another one that is available or played in the black and blue Sakazuki decks is this Hina card. It started out just over $3, and then yeah, it peaked at around $11, and it's currently holding at $7. So yeah, be aware of these prices when you are trying to build your Sakazuki deck for OP-05. The final two, I guess, sets that we're going to be looking at is the ST10 Premium Deck Edition, as well as the current set OP-04. So yeah, first let's go look at ST10. So the two main cards that might be relevant for the OP-05 meta is the Law Blocker as well as the Kid, I guess, SR. So first we have the Law Blocker. Obviously it's being used on a lot of purple decks, specifically the purple Luffy in OP-05. As you can see, the price started out at $15, and then went down, and it's holding steady at $8, just over $8. And then we have Kid. Kid started out at just over $9 or under $10, and it looks like it's holding steady at just over $6.72. So both of these cards are, seems to be staples for some of the purple Luffy lists out there. So if you're missing those, think about the cost of just buying the SRs versus buying an entire new ST10 deck. Next, let's go look at OP-04, starting out with one of obviously the Oyaji himself. This is the special card of the Whitebeards in OP-02. As you can see, the price reflected the unbannings or the unrestrictions as we started out just over or just under 30 US dollars, and then now it has ballooned nearly double the price or over double the price and is now sitting at just over 70 US dollars. Next, we have Yamato. So Yamato is going to be a staple for the NL decks as well as Katakuri decks. I think Katakuri is still going to be pretty strong. So either Katakuri or NL, both of them can use Yamato. And yeah, Yamato's alt art started out at just over 57 US dollars, went all the way up, all the way down to 53, and then went up again, and is holding steady at just over 61 US dollars. Next, we have Magellan, which is going to be the alt art or SP version of the OP-02 Magellan. This card is used in Purple Luffy. Yeah, it started out at just over 48 US dollars and then went all the way up, and it's now holding at just over 57 US dollars. Next, we have Sanji. Sanji in yellow decks out there started out at 40 US dollars, went all the way down to 34, just over 34 US dollars, and then rebounded and holding steady at $38.61. Next, we have Beige. So Beige started out last month at over 30 US dollars, went all the way down to 21, and then rebounded, and it looks like it's holding steady at 25 US dollars. So same thing, staple in yellow decks out there. And the next, and finally, let's go look at the regular SRs. Starting out with Yamato. So Yamato started out at just over 3 US dollars, and it peaked at just over 7 US dollars, and then it's just holding steady at just over 5 US dollars. And finally, we have Sanji. Sanji started out at just over $4.50, and then went up and down, up and down, up and down with a height of $4.87, and it's holding steady at $4.30. So yeah, so that has been some of the overview of some of the cards that you might be chasing for to get ready for OP-05. Hopefully this has been informative for you. It definitely has been informative for me as a guy. I get ready for the new set. And as a reminder, if you want to be part of my Altar Dawn giveaway, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. As always, I hope everyone will have an amazing rest of the week. And guys, we are less than 1 week away from OP-05. And yeah, hope everyone will have an amazing rest of the week until OP-05. And yeah, see you guys later. Cheers.